How different do we experience life when we go at it alone versus when we are in community or we have a partner? Good evening, my name is Chuck. I'm an educator with a new job this year and a new commute and this new podcast. I post on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays of this whole semester, giving you my thoughts on teaching, my family, my faith, pop culture, politics, sports, how all those go together. Last episode I talked about Christmas trees even, and an infographic from that. And this is just you riding shotgun with me in the car, this drive time diary. Today I am super energized to be at the end of this semester, but not because the semester's over. I am super excited to look forward to second semester. We gave our last finals today, and I had been grading them throughout the week, so I don't really have any grading tomorrow, and I have a whole day of teacher workday tomorrow also. So I shifted myself into high gear in planning for next semester mode this afternoon. And in the midst of having papers all over this quad of tables where I have a group sitting, and the planning document that I shared with my co-teacher earlier this morning, like, I have so many ideas for meeting the needs of every student in algebra next semester and getting as deep into the AP Stats book as I possibly can and getting those kids ready for that exam on May 7th. And I'm just super excited for next semester and to see how that looks. And a lot of that, I believe, has to do with the power of a partner. This manifests itself daily in my personal life. My wife is a partner. There's a word called helpmeet, which I don't know if that's a biblical word translated or exactly where that comes from, helpmeet. But in my personal life, my wife complements my strengths in so many ways that I know my life is deeply enriching because I have a parenting partner, a ministry partner, how we serve together doing kingdom work at church. It's just a partner in every way, and it's amazing. And I've had this to differing degrees in my professional life at work, but usually it actually is a struggle for me to let people into my practice. Mostly because I feel a little bit insecure about myself as a teacher in new scenarios a lot. Specifically as a math teacher, specifically because of my alternative track to the math classroom, and because of the way that I look at things differently through that track, and because I don't traditionally see myself as just a strong traditional math learner in the first place. It's a struggle for me to open up my practice really personally to people. It's easier throughout my career for me to feel very convicted about what I'm doing and feel sure of it in and of my own self, but opening that up to questions and having to explain that to others and inviting in their ideas also into what I'm doing, that's been a struggle on a deep level. But there have been times, I have a friend, Mr. Starks, who I had, that might have been even only 1 year co-teaching with him, but we did a lot of things together that was really meaningful, and that was a really good year for me. On my very first podcast, actually, he was even we did that together in a lot of ways. That was a really good year. And the next, so that was probably 13 years ago maybe that I did that. And then 2 school years ago, we had a instructional coach at my school that took me maybe a semester to warm up to, but once he understood what I was trying to go with, he became a really strong thought partner. And then he went and was an assistant principal the next year, and I lost that, and that was a bummer. But he really drove me to answer the questions that I asked, and to take those steps that I wanted to in the first place, and that was really meaningful. And this year, I'd say I have 2 thought partners. One of them is my special school district co-teacher, Ms. Tilling, that this first semester she was in one of my 5 algebra classes. And I think maybe because we were both new to the building, we have worked together a lot. I guess we have the same co-planning time as all the other math teachers. We have off together on A days, but I think we both spend the most time in our math office together, and I think she's a real strong, what am I saying? Personality also, and so she was able to question me, even if I didn't, at the very beginning of the year, seem very approachable to my practice. I tried to look approachable, but I know I felt very insecure at the beginning of the year with all of the changes. And that's kind of been documented on this podcast too. But she did a really good job of just asking me questions and then waiting for me to answer. And through that process of her asking me questions and then being open to the ideas and answers that I had, she approached it in a Ted Lasso way of being curious, and I did some of the same, and we were able to co-plan a lesson together that got observed by her special school district bosses. That got us a lot of really good feedback, and it was like this positive feedback loop, building more and more momentum, and we're just working really well together, and so well that she had a class that she had an hour of the schedule that she was not really servicing anybody, of like juniors or seniors, and so she got moved out of that class and into a second one of my classes, which is really exciting because now I'm going to have her on A days and B days, and it's just going to help me to serve the needs of all the students a lot better, and to use her even stronger as a thought partner, an observation partner, and just a sounding board. And so it's got me really enthused about what we're going to be able to achieve this semester and what we're going to be able to do for the students at my school. She's in a book study now about collaboration in the math classroom and how to get kids discussing and talking and showing their work, and thinking visibly and those kinds of things. And that's something that I hold deeply valuably also. So we're growing together in that sense also, and it's been really fun. Here's the second planning partner that I definitely did not expect this year. And he doesn't even know he's a planning partner of mine. And it took me a really long time to open up my practice to this planning partner. But For AP Stats, I have a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter is somebody who, like, behind the scenes helps someone write their book. Like when celebrities write books, they use ghostwriters a lot, and politicians use ghostwriters. So I kind of have a ghostwriter AP co-teacher this semester that he's been there all along in the background, but I struggled to use him for at least the first quarter, maybe a little bit even past the first quarter. So the teacher that I replaced at school, he had a robust YouTube channel, files and files and files and files of documents and tests and quizzes for AP Statistics, that course outlines, pacing charts that I received in a ginormous Google Drive that was pretty much like, here you go, Chuck, here's all of the former teachers' files, make sense of that. And it was incredibly overwhelming. I heard repeatedly about how much of a legend this man was. He, I think, 15, 16, 17 kids took the AP Stats exam last year, and every single one of them got a 3 or higher, which was like the average is like 60% of kids pass this test. So when people said he was a legend, it was obvious, and so I felt really insecure stepping into that. And then the ridiculous response that I had to that was to try to figure it out all myself. And so there was a lot of adjustments that I had to do because I haven't taught AP Statistics in 10 years. And there was a lot of just remembering content, remembering technology tips, remembering pacing tips, remembering resources that I liked, that I was trying to remember all of those things and also figure out what to do with this teacher's ginormous Google Drive all at the same time. And it led to me reinventing some wheels that through the course of the semester I found had already been invented, and trying out some things that he had in the drive to see what worked and what didn't work. And I think I'm finally in a place where I can use all this stuff, and I've actually been referring to him a lot the last couple of weeks about things that he left, because a lot of my students all know him. I mean, they signed up pretty much to take the class with this man. So he's a silent partner in this AP Stats class, but the degree to which I've finally been able to figure out how to use his resources for me, and to use his tests, and to look at his pacing guide and sort my way through all those things, the degree that I've been able to use those better in this past semester has been the degree to which I think stats class has been stronger. And so I spent a lot more time today going through more of his files and getting planned out for all of semester 2, all the way up to the AP exam. And so that is a level of planning that truthfully I've actually never attempted. My very first year teaching, I would try to plan out like 2 weeks in advance, I think, and that was even overwhelming for me. So I am super planned out, and I'm super excited, and a lot of that has to do with the silent ghostwriter planning partner that I also introduced into my practice this week. And so that's what I'm thinking about today, and that's just what we're talking about in this Drive Time Diary. Who's your favorite partner? What ways have you seen the power of a partner in your life, whether your personal life or your professional life? Let me know what you think. Hit me on the X at Chuck C. Baker, on Instagram at Mr. C. Baker for Math, or at Drive Time Diary. No one has yet sent me a voice message on Spotify. I would love if you did that. If you know me in real life, you can talk to me there too. We have one more episode I'm going to release on Friday, just reviewing the whole semester of the semester of change. And then we'll take a winter break before starting again in the new year. But we'll see you on Friday. That's all for this drive. Ride safe, wear your seatbelt. We'll see you next time.